Do you know why the pound yen moved 300 pips short today? If you don't know the reason, watch this video. And I have a sneaking suspicion it has to do with the dollar yen. Let's get into it. What's going on, everyone? I am back with another chart breakdown video. As always, for my midweek breakdown, I'm going to go over the pound yen chart. I'm going to show you the new scenarios to look out for the rest of the week. And I'm going to do a little bit of news analysis. Today will be a little bit different because I'm going to show you some of the news that happened with the dollar yen and why this pound yen dropped 300 pips out of nowhere in about a 1 minute candle. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps support me. Also join the Discord community using the link in the description. Let's get into it. So looking at this pound yen, here is this huge move in this one hour candle. It's 328 pips. It's massive. If you actually go down on the 1 minute, you can see that this 1 minute candle was huge. In a 1 minute candle, 277 pips. So massive intervention in the market. I'll get into that a little bit later. But first, I'm going to start with what trades could you have taken during the London session for today. So this is the major level, this red zone. It was the 180.40 to the 180.80-ish area. And as you can see during the London session, if we go to 5 a.m., we had a strong push down into level and a rejection away. A big move up as a reversal trade. It was against the intermediate time frame. It went up for 58 pips. One of the traders on the Discord community called Koki captured 50 of those pips out of this 58 pip move. So he did really well. But it's something that we're looking at this morning, and he called out that he was in this morning, so you could have taken that trade with him, and it was a 5R trade. He only had a 10 pip stop. But this level worked. It held multiple times and had some big reactions. Now that this level is broken, if we go onto a daily chart, we can see that we've broken daily structure. So this was the major structure point on the left, the 180.40 to 180.80 area. It was the pivot on the daily that had started this massive uptrend move. Now, as you can see, if we zoom out, this higher time frame area here, the zone, is looking more like it's sideways than an uptrend. We touched all the way down into 178 today because of that news that came out. So I'm going to be a little bit more neutral on the pound yen from now on. If I, excuse me, if I zoom out even more, we still are in an uptrend, but I wouldn't want to see price break below this low wick here at 176.30. Then I would be worried that the uptrend could be in trouble until we get all the way back down into the highs down at potentially 170 to 171 type area. But anyway, that's a very broad scope of this pound yen. I'm going to zoom in a little bit more here so we can get a little more in depth. So price came down into the 178 area with a really big wick and rejection. So it's jumped down to the 1 hour. So we have rejected down here, but we can assume that a lot of the orders have been cleared in between this space. If we go down on a lower time frame, the 5 minute, we can see that most likely below this wick here at 179, let's call it 40. Let me draw a line out here. A lot of the orders below there are already going to be taken up, and I can see price, if we can break this 179.40, I can see price continuing short all the way back down to the 178 area. Obviously, I don't think it'll happen in one big move again like this happened, but over the next week or so, I can see price making its way down, looking something like this. Break, test, break, retest, and then go short down to this area. Obviously, a little more choppy on the way down. What I can see for the short-term future, so tomorrow, London session, I can see price coming down into the 40 area and establishing a range. So you may not think this is a big range, but this would actually be quite a large range because this move is really big. So if we measure that out, it's about a 90 pip range. So I can see price go sideways for a couple days because it did such a large move today. We'll have to wait and see what happens. If it does break that 40 area, I will be looking short. I will be a little bit more bearish on this chart because the sellers do look to be in control, and for some of the reasons I'm going to mention in a few minutes. So let's go back to the 1 hour. This area is going to be very, very important, the 181.30. This is where the large move down started from. So if price does eventually make it back to this area, I would be looking for a short. But if price breaks that area, I'll wait for a pullback to go long. So that scenario would look like this: go short, and then if it breaks, pull back and go long from that area. This is going to be an important zone. If the buyers want to step in, the higher time frame buyers want to step in, they need to break that level. But I can also see price only pulling back up to here into that higher time frame pivot area that was broken before it ends up going short again. We'll have to see. It's good to have the levels drawn out and all the scenarios ready. Just in case it gets up there, I'm ready to take the short if I get a rejection on the lower time frame. So those are going to be my main scenarios. So potentially a long from there. I'd prefer to wait for it to break, pull back, and go short. So I'd be looking for something like this on the pound yen. Let's look at the news quickly. So if we hover over this candle, this happened at 10 a.m. If we jump over to Forex Factory, we can see that there was Jolt's job openings today at 10 a.m., which happened to be the catalyst for this big move. But the main factor of why I think that this pound yen moved short this many pips is actually the dollar yen chart. So if you follow along on Forex Live, which is another news website, they've been calling the 150 out right here. Let me draw it out, 150. They've been calling this level out as a very important level for the finance ministers in Japan. And the finance ministers don't want price on the dollar yen to go past that area. And that's been mentioned multiple times. So if I go over to Forex Live, here we can see they don't want price to break this 150 area. Here's a whole few paragraphs saying what happens if 150 breaks. Is it possible? Will the Japanese Minister of Finance step in and intervene in the market? And if we look at this one, the Minister of Finance said no comment if they intervened in the market. They think that there was intervention in the market, and it's pretty apparent you only usually get these massive moves and huge liquidity when a government steps in or there's some sort of catalyst for it. So the catalyst was a fake out. If we're looking at technicals only, they faked out the move first as a long on the dollar yen, and that's when all the orders got filled and the Japanese bank or Japanese government was ready to step in and just dump it, and that's what they did. So if we look at this too, this one moved 300 pips about as well. So it was actually government intervention that made this go short and made all of the yens go short with it. So usually when a government does step into the market, we can see price continue in that direction. They clear out the orders, it pulls back, and then it continues. So we'll see if that happens again in this case. I would think so, but we'll have to wait and see. Good luck trading for the rest of this week. Please remember, like, comment, subscribe. It really helps me out. And that's all for today. Thank you.